Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and get started here with lesson 6.3. This is quadratic solutions. In this case, guys, we want to go ahead in this case find solutions to quadratic equations, and we're going to go ahead and do that by doing the discriminant. So starting off in this case, guys, we want to go ahead and talk about what the discriminant is and basically decides how many solutions a quadratic equation has. And in this case, the discriminant is actually found in our quadratic formula. So here's the quadratic formula. The discriminant is represented by the expression b squared minus 4ac. Once again, whenever you solve for the discriminant, it determines the number of solutions. So in this case, guys, just a few things. Whenever your discriminant in this case is a positive number, so when you use the formula b squared minus 4ac, if you get a positive number, you should have two solutions, and this is how it should look if you graph it. If your discriminant in this case is equal to 0, then it's going to have one solution. And if it's negative, there's no real solution there. So let's go ahead and get started here with example 1. Now, in this case, guys, in order for us to solve for the discriminant, we do need to determine our a, b, and c values. Now, taking a step back in this case, guys, we do have our quadratic equation. This is actually the formula for quadratic equations. We have an ax squared plus a bx plus a c. A in this case, guys, is represented by the number in front of the x squared. It's actually our leading coefficient, which in this case, the leading coefficient number in front of the x squared is an invisible 1. Then we move on to b, which is actually the number in front of the x, or the x coefficient, and then we have c, which is our constant, the number that's by itself. So in this case, a is 1, b is negative 2, and c is negative 1. All right, now let's go ahead and use the formula here for discriminant again. We have b squared minus 4ac. Now in this case, guys, wherever we see an a, we'll go ahead and replace it with the 1, a b a negative 2, and a c a negative 1. So this is negative 2 squared minus 4 times a times c. So in this case, guys, negative 2 squared is actually 4, and the negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. So 4 plus 4 in this case, guys, is 8. So this here is actually the solution for the discriminant. Now, because this solution here is positive, or the discriminant here is positive, we actually have two solutions. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this next one. And here's the next one. Now, in this case, guys, once again, we want to go ahead and identify a, b, and c. And in this case, guys, once again, it is the formula of ax squared plus a bx plus a c. So a in this case, guys, is going to equal 1. B is going to equal 14, and c is 49. Now, in this case, guys, all these values will be different. A is not always going to be 1. That will be changing. So let's go ahead and solve for the discriminant here. B squared minus 4ac. B squared in this case is 14 squared minus 4 times 1 times 49. All right, so let's go ahead and bring out the calculator here. And in this case, guys, 14 squared is going to be 196 minus 4 times 49 is going to be 196 as well. So 196 minus 196 is 0. So this here is actually the value of the discriminant. Since our discriminant here is equal to 0, we actually have one solution. One solution. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this practice problem, guys, and I will be actually starting it for you. In this case, whenever we're solving for the discriminant, your equation does need to be equal to 0. So equation must be equal to 0. So in order for us to actually solve for this, I do need to move that 8 to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 8 to both sides. Now, in this case, guys, if you take a look at this here, there's actually no like terms I can combine with the negative 8, so I'm just going to bring everything down. And all of this will be equal to 0. From there, guys, we could actually easily identify a, b, and c. A being -7, b being 16, and C being negative 8. So basic substitution in this case, guys, we have the b squared minus 4ac, and that would become 16 squared minus 4 times a times c. All right. Now in this case, guys, 16 squared is 256, and then there's 3 negatives, so that we still have a negative left. So it's negative 4 times negative 7 times negative 8, which is negative 224. So 256 minus 224 is going to give us 32. Once again, positive solution or positive discriminant means 2 solutions. So go ahead and work on the next practice problem, guys. This is on your own. Make sure your equation